Hi Gemini, welcome to your Magic Door reading for 19. Everything you need to know about this reading is in the description box below. Alright Gemini. Four of Swords. Boy, this is coming up a lot. Taking time out. Somebody's mad. And there's like this separation, not talking. Alright, so you are taking some time off from this situation, maybe even taking time off from thinking about it. You're just wanting your space right now. See if I can get this closer. Alright. Ace of Swords, Three of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, Nine of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, Five of Cups, and the Magician. Alright. Someone could be already starting to get involved with somebody else. Their attention could be elsewhere. It might have been diverted. It's going to involve you making the first move or an effort. This person's going to also have to be receptive, though. I think they would be, but they're wondering how this would work. And there's a lot that still needs to be discussed. Somebody's quite broken up and quite hurt. That could very well be you. But there was a lot of perhaps bickering. This was an issue that it wasn't just one issue. It was a lot of issues over time. This would suggest that this has been an issue from the start of this relationship, and this relationship is probably a long-standing relationship. All right, what's this Ace of Swords about? Gemini. What's this Ace of Swords about for Gemini? Wow, okay. This Page of Pentacles about. This could be, it could be talking to a Cancer, but it looks like they're interested in someone else, or they are interested in moving things forward, but could very well be with someone else. It might be with you if you reach out and talk to them about this new beginning, a clean slate, what do you think? Or, hey, how are you? That sort of thing. But I don't know. It looks like things have been cut off for a while now. Looks like there were problems mounting up. It was like this kind of wasn't easy. There was always something to bicker about. And it's almost like, okay, they'd be receptive to it, but they're like, how's this going to work though? Because all we did was bicker and argue. And what's this Three of Pentacles about? Okay, that one flipped. Could be Pisces, could be Cancer. All right, this Three of Pentacles about. What's this Wheel about? Hangman and the Five of Cups here. What's this Wheel about for Gemini? Wow, the Wheel of Fortune and the World. And oh my goodness gracious, the Wheel of Fortune, the World, and the Judgment. Okay, so it's almost like opening Pandora's box, because I think this person is receptive to working things out, but they don't see how. Their heart's been broken. They're devastated. You two don't look to be talking. They would be quite shocked if you did talk to them about getting back together, because they'd be like, okay, well, how is this going to work? Like, how do you think this would work? There's disappointment on both sides. This would suggest that there needs to be somebody to bridge the distance or the gap between you. It's almost like you are both in your separate corners. And I think they see this as it just can't work. They wanted it to, but they just can't. Like I said, this also could be them beginning to move forward with somebody else. What's this Magician about? They'd have to recommit. So we got the Queen of Pentacles here. I think, you know what? I don't know, Gemini. Seriously, I think that it's almost like let sleeping dogs lie, because they could very well be starting with someone else. And if you were to come back, if you were to say, I've been working on a few things, trying to change my outlook, trying to change a few things. I've been working on changing a few things. I'm trying to move past this disappointment and hurt. I know you feel hurt and disappointed also. They are already setting themselves up to be single. Like, it's a foregone conclusion that things are. So if you were to reach out, I think it would be quite shocking, but they'd also be wondering how, and they've already got I feel like they've already got one foot out the door. Like, somebody would have to be willing to look at their culpability. There'd have to, both of you, I guess, but like, what happened? What went wrong? Why do we bicker so much? And it's almost like, is this really worth it? Perhaps this is a mismatch in energy, because we've got the Wheel, the World, and Judgment here. So someone would have to be willing to admit their wrongdoing in the ending, or as to why things ended, to take a real hard, long look at what and why each other's contributions are. Like, you did this or you did that, and that's represented on both sides here. It's almost like there has to be a reckoning with what someone did to somebody else. And there, like I said, there's disappointment and hurt on both sides, and you're both not talking. So, oh boy, I don't know, Gemini. I think more time's needed here. I think they're receptive. They just don't see how. They don't know how it would move forward. And I think they would want you to go first. Like you would have to admit this, or you would have to confess. You'd have to be the one to own up to some things in their mind. All right. I think they'd be willing to offer very little until you made the first move and until you sort of fessed up. And even then, it would definitely be a process, wouldn't it? Because this is pent up frustration and fear and anger and sadness, and just like there was no moving forward because we were just constantly, hurt, not talking, bickering. Nothing got resolved. We just bicker. Gemini. Pain. Yeah, Drews, I'm sorry. Pain. Oh, Gemini, I'm sorry. This could be saying too, that just a new beginning, a clean slate, a fresh start is best, and leave them to the other person. I mean, we got the Fool here. This could be unexpectedly wanting to talk, making an effort towards something. This could also be a clarifying conversation, having an epiphany, things being cleared up. Reaching out and starting conversation again. Perhaps this is an online conversation in the hopes that eventually there'll be this new start or new beginning. Or this could be things being cut off and you're just like completely set free and you want this new beginning. 2 things that Gemini's person would say to them. 2 things that Gemini's person would say to them. 2 things. I don't like it. Okay. Gemini. Okay. Oh, okay. We've got the Coffin and the Key. So, ouch. Let me think how to say this here. This is a troubled relationship, and it's almost like the key to solving it is what? What's the key? This is a karmic, significant relationship. It's in crisis, if not in trouble. But this is saying that any issues would be resolved, problems will be resolved. But how? Hold on. Well, okay, that's good. I mean, this is about you at least taking a moment for yourself and collecting yourself and just taking a reprieve and a breather. That's good. This depends on whether you want to reach out to this person. It feels like they're receptive, but they're waiting for you to make the first move. This is saying that problems could be resolved, but again, the key to that very well could be someone making the first move, which is you, asking for a second chance, or at least owning up to what happened in the relationship, the bickering, the control, the this and that, in their eyes. I'm not saying this happened, but as far as they're concerned, they're waiting for probably you to make the first move. And it's going to be a process. There's hurt and sadness on both sides. And perhaps this is saying that someone needs to take time to work through some issues of pain and sadness that were affecting the relationship. It's like there's something going on in the background that was starting to affect the relationship, bleed over into it. And then that's why there was this break, because someone was going through something pretty heavy and they need to resolve that before because it was starting to bleed into the relationship. We got disappointment on both sides, but I feel like your disappointment was from something else, but it affected the relationship. And this person is willing and they want to, they just don't know how, because I don't think they know what you've been working on, or that you're would be interested. It looks like you might have been the one. Well, no, they could have been the one to break up the relationship. Okay. You are an angel. I'm finally seeing the consequences of actions. So these are 2 things that if they wanted to tell you, they would. But it looks like there's silence and pain on both sides. I think they're receptive to it. They just don't know how it's going to work. Everybody's situation is different, but I think it's almost because, okay, this person, this energy is somebody that, I got this. I don't need you. I don't need anybody. I'm fine on my own. I'm doing my own thing here. I don't mind if you come by and notice or offer this or that or whatever, but I don't need to work with anybody. It's ironic, isn't it? 3 of Pentacles, you think, oh, and typically you see 2 people, like in the standard deck, there's 2 people there, and but that's merely consulting or commenting on somebody who's a master at their work doing their own thing. So it could very well be that somebody was kind of closed off because of pain and issues from the past, pain and disappointment that was bleeding over eventually into the relationship with things like control issues and anxiety and just mistrust and all of that. And it drove the other person away, broke their heart as well. And I think they would want you to recognize and own up to that, and also offer like, okay, how are we going to move forward differently? Because we can't look at this was a 9 of swords here. I mean, it can't be the way it was. Look at all this anxiety and fighting we had. Okay, all right. Well, Gemini, I hope you are able to resolve this you two are able to work this out. There's still a love there, but we've got someone that is like, all right, I don't know how this is going to work. It would depend on them. I was going to close, wasn't I? And then I got distracted. But I think there's an interest and a receptivity there. But this person is already like, they're like, I am okay on my own. But I still would be interested in hearing, or at least, so this could be them being with somebody up here and they'd have to make a decision. But either way, their goal is stability and security. No more of this 9 of Swords. No more of this, 5 of Cups. They want this. And I feel like that's more, even if their heart or minds might still be with you, they're willing to take a chance and move forward with someone else because the end game for them is this. They don't want things to be rocky and just bickering anymore. And yeah, so they'd be receptive, but I think they'd be wondering how, and they'd also have some choices and decisions to make themselves about a direction that they're already moving in, that they would need to stop or change course, because it looks like they're got one foot out the door, even though their mind is still on this. But the first step, if you're looking at, is reaching out and kind of owning it, or at least letting them know that you're working on some issues or working on disappointment. And I'm not saying that you were the this, that, or the other, but I think that would open the door for them to see that you are acknowledging that there was issues and that you might have let them affect the relationship you were in, and that you are trying to work on that. That's the start that needs to happen, is addressing the pain and the issues that caused the rift. That's the start. Everybody's situation is different, I get it, but I think that would make that person go, huh? What now? Oh, it's a start. Okay, I hope this was helpful, Gemini. I wish you luck with this. I'm sorry about this 5 of Cups here. That's never fun, is it? And this right here, these 3 majors, whoo, that's a lot of road to hoe. All right, I hope to see you in the next reading. You take care.